Hello everyone, I am Dr. Velamani P.S., Professor, Department of Computer Science, University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya. In this video, we are going to see the big data analysis. The contents are what is data, then the big data analysis, the types of big data, the characteristics of big data, and the advantages. So what is data? The quantities, characters or symbol on which operations are performed by a computer. That is called data, which may be stored and transmitted in the form of electrical signals and recorded on magnetic, optical or mechanical recording media. So this is the simple definition of data. Generally, what we can say the data are raw facts. It may be a kind of symbol or characters without any meaning. So this particular data can be stored for the process purposes and it can be retrieved after the processing. This data and all generally it is a statistical data or maybe structured data or unstructured data that we will see one by one. Now the concept of big data. The big data is a collection of data that is huge in volume and growing exponentially with time. So there are several social applications like Facebook or maybe some trading or maybe some other applications like jet engine, flying timings and all. The time to time the data generation from those systems and all it will be very high. That will be in the level of we can see zettabytes, the size of the data that we will see in our further slides. So it is a data which so large size and complexity that none of the traditional data management tools can store it or process it effectively, efficiently. So big data is also a data but with huge size. So that what is the data analysis? So the data analysis is the process of cleaning, analyzing and visualizing the data. So we are going to analyze the data for the processing purposes and with the goal of discovering valuable insights and driving smarter business decisions. So once the moment we are analyzing the data and we can process the data to get to take decision on any kind of business application and to make the profit on this. So why is data analysis important nowadays? So the data is everywhere as we know that it starts from spreadsheet and the sales pipeline and social media platform, then the customer satisfaction surveys, customer support tickets and so on. So in all areas, definitely data will play a major role and data will be generated. So in our modern information age, it's created and blinding speeds and when data is analyzed correctly can be company's most valuable asset. Once the data is analyzed properly, then that will be a valuable asset to the company to make the proper profit. So that's why the data will be analyzed. The types of big data analytics. So any data that can be stored, accessed and processed in the form of fixed format is termed as structured data. Over the period of time, talent in computer science has achieved greater success in developing techniques for working in such kind of data and also derived value out of it. So these typical sizes are being in the range of multiple zettabytes. We'll see that. So now, where exactly the big data is generated? So in stock exchange, the big data that generates about 1 terabyte of new trade data per day in stock exchange market. Then the social media, the statistics shows that 500 plus terabytes of new data get ingested into the databases of social media site like Facebook, etc. every day. This data is mainly generated in terms of photo and video uploads, message exchanges, putting comments, etc. in social media. For example, Facebook, we are using Facebook Messenger and this message will takes place data and we are uploading the photos and we are sharing some information, uploading the videos. These informations and all takes a lot of huge amount of data in the storage. Then the third thing is a single jet engine. So the jet engine, so the it generates 10 plus terabytes of data in 30 minutes of a flight time. So every 30 minutes of a flight time with many thousand flights per day, generation of data reaches up to many petabytes. So the things, if a flight is flying in a particular place to another location and the location of the flight that will be monitored and the data also will be generated and the system can store the data and it will analyze and the exact location and the things will be traced out. So in case of 1,000 flights flying at the same moment on the sky, so let us imagine how huge data will be generated in terms of their location and the direction and the data will be transferred to the server. Definitely that needs to be properly processed and that needs to be properly analyzed to get the to give the proper direction to the flight takeoff and land off. So in terms of this petabyte, that is 10 to the power of 21 bytes, that is equivalent to 1 zettabyte, or 1 billion terabytes forms a zettabyte. So we can imagine it. So we know that 1 byte equal to 8 bits, then it will keep on moving. Now that is the zettabyte. So as we know that 1 terabytes that is equivalent to 1000 gigabytes, then the 1 zettabyte that is equivalent to 10 to the power of 21 bytes. So that is a thing which we can say the huge amount of data will be generated in these kind of applications and it is going to be stored in the huge volume of data for the analysis purposes. In case of structured data, the data will be stored in a relational database management system. So the structured data, the rows and columns can be defined like this: employee ID, employee name, gender, department, salary in lakhs, like this. So the employee ID, it will be like this, and employee name, gender, department, finance, and salary 6,50,000. So like that, 5 employees in row wise, it is determined here as a structure, and the column wise we can see the employee names, gender, departments, various departments, and salary in lakhs of amounts. Unstructured data, any data with unknown form or the structure is classified as unstructured data. So what happens is, in addition to this size of Being huge and unstructured data poses multiple challenges in terms of its processing for deriving value out of it. So a typical example of unstructured data is a heterogeneous data source containing a combination of simple text files, images, videos, etc. So these unstructured manner text files, images, videos. So with this, we need to identify the classification. Based upon the classification, we can segregate the data. Finally, after segregation, we need to analyze. After analysis, the decision will be taken place in such moments. If we type, for example, in Google, best online shopping sites. So, what kind of data it will take from the internet? I typed this best online shopping sites in Google. So, immediately I was able to get and shopping in the sense for clothes, for women's clothing, for shoes, for grocery, for wedding dresses, for bags. So it is automatically taking different classifications and it is giving trying to give top 10 online shopping sites in India. So like this manner we can get it. So this unstructured way of information, it can be time varied time to time. The crores of informations that can be accessed from the server and will get the display over here. A semi-structured data, that is the third type. So it can contain both the forms of data, which we can see semi-structured data as a structured in form, but it is actually not defined with example table definition in the relational database management system. So in this example, semi-structured data is like represented in the XML file. So in this XML file, we can see the name, all the names are having in this particular record. Then after that, the sex, it is mentioned as male and age, it is mentioned as 35. So like these records can be maintained in this form of XML file. So the name, sex, then age, these fields and all represented in the XML file. So the five people names and the informations are displayed over here by using the XML file, which is said to be the semi-structured data. Now the types of data analysis techniques and methods. So there are six types of data analysis techniques. So before that, the first text analysis. The main thing is the how the text will be analyzed. The text analysis is the form of qualitative analysis that is concerned with more than just statistics and numerical values. So it may comprise with the analysis of qualitative and statistical values and numerical values will be there. In text analysis, it also text analytics or data mining, which uses machine learning with natural language processing to organize unstructured text data so that it can be properly analyzed for valuable insights. The second one is descriptive analysis. So what is happening? Again, what exactly happened in data analysis? That is the question which we are raising here. It consists of asking question, what is happening? So it is a preliminary stage of data processing that creates a set of historical data, descriptive, that is historical data. So it simplifies the data and summarizes the past data into the readable form. So both the text analysis and descriptive analysis, it takes the question what is happening. Then inferential analysis, that is what happened. So it indicates the past. The inferential analysis generates our hypothesis about what happened by comparing statistics group within an entire population. So the previous statistics, the population of a country, existing customer base, patterns, patient in a medical study, etc. So the previous data will be considered for this kind of analysis. The most common method for conducting inferential statistics are hypothesis tests and estimation theories. Then the diagnostic analysis. Why did it happen? Why it is happening? What is the reason? So it consists of asking question, why did it happen? So diagnostic analytics looks for the root cause of the problem. So it is used to determine why something is happened. So this type attempts to find and understand the causes of events and behaviors. Then the predictive analytics. What is likely to happen? So that is the question which we have need to answer. It allows businesses to determine the best possible solution available to the problem. And also it uses the past data in order to predict the future. The data mining and artificial intelligence are used to analyze current data and make scenario of what might happen in future. Then the prescriptive analytics. It consists of the uh, question like what should be done, what we need to be proceed, what exactly to be proceed. So that question will be raised at this moment of prescriptive analytics. So this type of analytics makes use of historical and present data predict future events. It helps forecast what might happen and uses the parameters to find the best solution. The characteristics, so 3V, the variety, velocity, volume. So the variety of data is in the form of structured, semi-structured, unstructured. This particular diagram we can see. The velocity, that is batch streaming of data. The volume, the size of data, that is petabytes, exabytes and zettabytes. That is the characteristics of this 3V in big data analytics. So the explanation, volume, amount of data generated, stored and operated within the system. So the increase in volume is explained by the increase in the amount of data generated and stored. The variety, it represents the multiplication of the types of data managed by an information system. This multiplication leads to a complexity of links and link types between these data. The variety also relates to the possible uses associated with the raw data. A velocity represents the frequency at which data is generated, captured, and shared. The data arrive by stream and must be analyzed in the real time, and it will be support for the real time environment decision making. Now the characteristics for V. So in addition to this, volume, variety, velocity, volume, variety, velocity, you can see veracity is also the fact. So the volume indicates data at scale. The variety indicates the data in many formats. The velocity, data in motion. Then the veracity, data uncertainty. So the managing the reliability and predictability of inherently imprecise data types. So the uncertainty of the data will be captured at this moment of the fourth V. Now the 5V of big data. So this 5V of big data which comprise all these previous formats along with the value. So the volume, as we know that the terabytes, the size, the velocity, the batch, real, near-time processors streams, the variety that is structured, semi-structured, unstructured, probabilistic, then the veracity, the trustworthiness, authenticity, origin, reputation, availability, and accountability. Finally, the value, the correlations, the hypothetical values, the events, the statistical information, which is exactly used to predict the results. The 6V, along with this, all V value, volume, velocity, variety, veracity, the variability is also under consider. That is seasonal health effects and disease evaluation, that is non-deterministic model of illness and health. So if he takes the value clinically relevant data for the longitudinal studies, the volume high throughput technologies, continuous monitoring of vital signs, and the velocity is high speed processing for the fast clinical decision support. The variety is the heterogeneous and structured data resources, and again the veracity is the data quality is unreliable data coming from uncontrolled environments. So with this, the variability is also considered in 6 V's in big data analysis. So the advantages of the big data analysis, the business can utilize outside intelligence which taking decisions. Access to the social data from search engine and sites like Facebook with Twitter enabling organization to fine tune their business strategies, which is used to improve the customer services. Then the third one is traditional customer feedback system. The big data and natural language processing technologies are being used to read the evaluate customer responses. Based upon that, early identification of risk to the product services, if any. So this particular risk will be handled based upon the customer feedback system. Then the better operational efficiency. So the big data technologies can be used for creating a staging area or landing zone for new data before identifying what data should be moved to the data warehouse. So in addition to this, such integration of big data technologies and data warehouse helps an organization to offload infrequently accessed data. So they generally, if we see the benefits, any kind of business, customer services, any kind of risk, well in advance, we can predict the things and we can provide the proper services and we can get proper benefit into that from that particular business that will be taken care by this particular big data analysis fact. Thank you very much. Thank you.